What do you do when you're losing, or when I'm losing? What do I do? I have to bring someone into the game as well, someone else that might be sitting on the sideline. And who is that? Who is that, I hear you say? That question that comes out from the floor. Who is that? Well, of course, that's the king. The king has to come out sometimes to help whatever I've got left for pieces and do a king march. So here is a king march, okay? Here is a king march of the greatest ability from that of my hand. I played this game about 2 hours ago because I was coaching someone video chess throughout this country who is a prominent professional person in their chosen field. And they have been interviewed for this chess channel as well under Chess in Life according to ... So here's this game, and I think you might like it. And guess what? I'm going to get out of the picture. As soon as that happens, I'll be out of the picture, so don't get in the way of the chess pieces. See, the thing is I asked my student, as I can possibly call him, I asked my student, what move should I play? What move should I play? What move should I play? I only played 3 games. What move shall I play here? And he said, oh, E6, the French. I said, no, 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 you meant to tell me something else than the French. So I had to go with the French. G5 was the only move to play. I remember it well. G5 and F5. Don't they look good together? This is all still homebrew. Guess what I play now? So you can have a look at the score on the right hand side of your screen, but I played King H8 thinking that I was going to do quite well out of this. Well, my thoughts weren't quite clear, were they? They haven't been very clear today. I don't know what's going on with this day. I'm trying to get something done today, but I haven't been able to get round to it because I keep on hitting a brick wall. Not literally, thankfully. From my point of view, I'm saying that. So here comes King H8. So this sort of promotes the idea of Queen F5. But guess what, Dave? Guess what? White gets a knight and a bishop and a rook out of all this exchange for a queen and pawn. So knight, bishop and rook for a queen and pawn. That's pretty good. Knight F5, bishop D4, check, knight D4, rook F5, knight F5. So I'm sitting there going, I'm a bit embarrassed. As I'm trying to show this fine player on the internet how so I have to play resourcefully. But I mean, this is probably, if I asked the computer, a lost game for black. I would assume so. I played Queen F6. I've got to be developing with a threat. I'm actually developing my queen on move 21, and I'm here still talking about it. Knight D4, that looks pretty good. C5, got to bring the pawns in. Knight E2, rook E8. Now, of course, I'm pinning the knight on E2 with rook E2 as a threat. Okay, so here comes bishop D2. Fair enough. This looks like black's going to do okay here. Not. I'm talking about white. I want to have white not do okay. I want black to do okay here. I'm now sitting there going, oh no, this bishop diagonal for white. Oh dear, what will I do about that? So I get off the diagonal with my king by playing king G8, and here comes knight C1. I'm not quite sure. I would probably prefer white to play rook a d1 or something like that. And then maybe knight c1 after that or something. But white played knight c1. So I went rook c1, not rook e1, check, bishop e1, and now I played queen e5. Knight d3 comes along. And here I go, queen e3, because now this knight is loose if it stays there on d3 for capture of the queen. So it goes to knight f2. Okay. Now, c4, prohibiting moves for the knight to d3 and e4, not eg4, but these moves are sort of like not looking healthy for the white knight. Plus this bishop is now in the way of the rook getting into the game, and it's defended by the rook, the bishop, but it's sort of like a little bit kind of annoying for white. My plan is to motor these pawns down here. Okay, motor these pawns down here, and also these pawns here. So that if I can go g4 and g3, then I'm going to pick that knight up, aren't I? And also, as promised, I've got another idea. So here's rook d1. That's not bad. That's quite good now. Because now white's got their rook into play, kind of. So I have to defend the d5 pawn, don't I? Okay. No, because I will just, if rook d5, I will just play simply queen e1, checkmate. So here's b5. I'm just a little bit kind of, just a little bit of things going on for my position. Queen e2, h3, and a5. Now everything's all looking after each other for white and white's camp. And black has, you can see quite clearly, a spatial advantage. Because if we just look at this situation, then we can see that white has not got so much space as black. White's got not so much space. White's got this sort of space here, see? Let's just say this and this and this and that. Not that, but this, okay, is the only space, really, because otherwise the king's defending the knight on g1, okay, the rook is defended by the knight on f2, the bishop is defended by the rook on d1, so it's pretty difficult for white to really move. Can't even play knight g4 here because the queen takes rook. It's all over. So bishop e1 come along, and that's okay. But still, white is on the back foot, even though white is in a winning position. Has got not a winning position, but materialistically, white is winning the primo. Okay. Now comes my maneuver as promised before, king f7. I'm going to make sure I don't necessarily hop on a square where the knight can check me and maybe fork my queen in a royal fork. Bishop d2. Now if I go king e6 now, okay, to the square, then I hope you can see the next move for white very quickly. I hope you can. How does white win ultimately? And even though my king's pretty powerful, how does white continue? White would continue with rook e1, and thereby my queen is pinned to the defense of the king check on e6. So I would lose my queen for rook at the best scenario, unless white cooperated with me. So here's h5 now, as promised. So bishop c1, king e6, because now white hasn't got rook e1, as I would just take it, of course. So the next move is rook f1. But where to after with this bishop? Where's this bishop going to go? Well, maybe I'll play g4 and then bishop f4 will be good. And then the bishop's out. So king d6. So this king is going to support these pawn pushes. And in what order, I'm not sure. Knight d1 and king c5. Now, same thing. If rook f2, then queen takes knight, and I've got a piece back. So my friend was quite impressed with the way that I held it all together, even though it looks kind of pretty bad for black up until a few moves ago. a3, and so I just go b4, cb4, ab4, and ab4, and king b4. Now this king's looking to come in here, here, and attack this twice, kind of, but also attacking the bishop on c1. So, needless to say, almost, b3 is not really a good idea because this king can just capture, okay, and or the pawn can capture, but probably the king will capture. And then this pawn here can just almost just march like a little wee pig all the way home. So here is knight c3. This is a wee bit annoying, and I have to be careful that I don't throw it all away now. So I played queen back to e5, and now this can support it. Now I don't want to play queen here, of course, as rook d1 will bring white out of their misery, which I'm sure they're not very happy with, my queen and king. See, the king is actually working very well as a piece. Knight a2. Well, this is, I straight away think that's sending your knight off into the wild, wild west where I like it to be. So king b3 and knight c3 and king c2. See? So now this position is very difficult for white to find a move. This pawn is very strong. It's threatening to just go all the way home, just like I said before. And so white now is met with knight a4. Well, again, I still think that this is just like almost like you might as well resign if you're just going to play moves like knight a4 and that. d4. Now the knight's got no moves except for b6, and does it really want to go there? I don't think so. b4. Well, that's good. And here I just ignore that I can play en passant. I can't go king en passant, but I can go cb3 en passant. I play d3 and knight b2, and here comes queen d4 check. Okay, queen d4, king h1, c3. So it's almost like the pawns are also compensating for the piece down, because I'm practically a piece down, even though I've got these pawns on the 6th rank connected. They're very strong when they get to the 6th rank. c3, knight a4, d2. And that's the end of this session. Hope you enjoyed that. So that's just showing you the power of the king, in the endgame at least, what the king can do. The king is the main fighter here, I think. But maybe the queen's doing some fighting too. Bye for now.